What is one thing you think a lot of entrepreneurs or leaders need to hear, gut checks that they need to hear in order to be successful over the next decade?
That if you're looking for outside validation based on your net worth, your blue check mark, or how many followers you have, you're ultimately vulnerable for the game that we're actually playing, which is, do you enjoy your life? And you need to really look at that, because it really plays out. It is only sustainable for so long to play an optics game for other people to think you're successful. It is the number one thing entrepreneurs need to hear. Like, I reference this a lot, and I know a lot of people here, because I see some faces are close to my content. I reference a very obscure part of the cinematic classic, Rocky IV. And in Rocky IV, which is the one where he fights Drago, the Russian, at the end talks about this thing. They fight, Rocky wins, the crowd, and Drago grabs the mic and he goes, look, all of you in this Russian crowd, you thought it was Russia versus America in this ring. I was fighting for myself in here. Fuck you. And that's how I think about my business. I'm so appreciative of the love, the admiration, but my inability to hear that is why I'm able to deal with the negative pushback, that I'm a this, that I'm a that, and it makes it very quiet for me, and then I get to play my game. I think the biggest thing that people need to hear is you will always lose if you're doing it for them. Always. It's just not sustainable in the end. And I want people to be happier. Like, it matters. Like, your quality of mental happiness matters. And I think people think money closes the gap on it. And I actually think, much like social media, it exposes it. I think if you're unhappy, money will expose it and make it more unhappy. It will not close the gap. And so doing it for yourself, which is so awesome. I assume a lot of you in this room and on video probably know the thing I know, which is, holy crap, business is my favorite hobby. Like, I would much rather do a business meeting than golf. It's not even close. I would much rather have a business problem that I have to solve than go skiing or take a trip to a vineyard. I just enjoy it. Literally the only thing in my life that gives me the same kind of feeling is not even going to a Jets game, because that is actually escapism. That is my church. That caring so much about something that in theory you shouldn't care about actually helps everything work for me. It's actually garage sailing. This is real. This is how I know I'm in a very sick place of loving my thing. The only thing in the world that gets my chemicals going the same way every day does running businesses is waking up at 6 o'clock on a Saturday with a 33, garage sale, town-wide garage sale. And it's still just business. It's finding something for 40 cents that I know is $8, or something that's $8. And so that's when I knew. That's when I knew that right. I found my true love. And honestly, I think for a lot of you in this room and on video, debating how much you may love business and you may love being an entrepreneur, but do you love the thing you're doing? Because if you don't, having the humility to take a step backwards financially, to reset and do something you like more, is something that I'm trying to talk a lot about more, because I've seen it. I've seen it ironically, not because the person usually had enough humility to pull it off. It's because they were forced to, because shit went bad, and they're like, oh my God, I wish did this 12 years ago. This is so much more fun. I like this thing. Trying to find something you love, it really works. And so, I don't know, I'm really hopeful that people, I'm blown away by how status, money, follow count, blue check marks, Mercedes-Benzes, Rolexes, private plane. I don't think because I was in my own cocoon for so long, I don't think I understood how much people needed outside affirmation to be a Band-Aid for their emotional instabilities or insecurities that they were parented with, or things of that nature. And I come with such gratitude that I didn't stumble into that, but then almost a level, to be very frank, almost a level of guilt that I didn't stumble into that. And so grateful. It's this very weird kissing cousin of guilt and gratitude that makes me desperately want to communicate it on the platform that I have of I don't know how many very, 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 very wealthy people you know, but I a shocking amount of them are not super pumped, not super happy, not living the dream, you know, and so it's not gonna be money. So, you know, figure it out. And by the way, we made a subtle point earlier and I saw some people react. I'm gonna throw a weird one, which is also not fun to say, but could lead to so much more happiness. I believe there's a lot of people watching or in this room right now that shouldn't be number ones. That are like in between a 1 and a 2, and like don't have the stomach or like the leadership to really be a true number 1 entrepreneur. I know that's a weird thing to say, and I don't say it as a negative. I just see so many people that are playing a number 2 role, making way more money and loving life so much more after they stop trying to be a number 1 for the optics of it or the ideology of it. So that's very much on my mind as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Vaynerchuk is no bullshit.